It is a major shakeup to school safety, but the Denver Public School Board doesn't want to share how they're coming to the decision to reinstate school resource officers. And it cannot be business as usual. That is how critically low the Colorado River is right now, that millions of people are relying on, the changes in water distribution that are imminent. Colorado leaders are looking to make a national impact when it comes to women's access to birth control. We're going to get to all those headlines in just a minute, but first, my goodness, is that the sun? What is that? Oh my gosh. Okay. I was just talking to Greg, and Greg, you were saying that this is kind of the last day.
This is it.
This is it. Okay, so hold on one more day, okay?
I don't know if I can.
I know. It has been rough. The Eastern Plains got hit by a storm yesterday afternoon. CDOT cameras near Lyman capturing all the hail that was coming down. The Weather Service warned of a dangerous storm with golf ball to tennis ball sized hail. Ooh. Amy Richards spotted some large hailstones on Highway 287. That's between Hugo and Lyman. Enough piled up on the road that it looked like it snowed. That's happened in my neighborhoods one too many times over the last couple of weeks here. But Greg,
you're about to say months.
I was
because it felt like months.
I did. I was like, because
no,
I
it's okay.
remember
it's
the
okay.
last time I saw sun.
Okay, so we are going to see something similar to that today, especially out towards the Eastern Plains, but I promise this is it. I promise, because we have a dry stretch coming. Not only that, temperatures in the 70s and 80s, so there's a light at the end of the tunnel right now.
We're so close, everyone. We're so close.
I know. It's really 12 more hours of rain. That's all we're going to be dealing with. By tonight, the skies are going to clear. It'll be a little chilly overnight, but still not bad overall. Temperatures this morning starting out in the 40s and 50s as per usual. We'll make our way into the upper 60s, well below average one last day. And with all this rainfall, we still have flood watches and warnings to talk about. Let's take a look at that right now. Flood warning in effect up until 11 o'clock this morning, 11:15 this morning for Cheyenne and for Kit Carson. That's for the far eastern plains. The flood watches for the areas in dark green, though, starts at around noon, lasts up until 6 o'clock this evening. Current temperatures in the upper 40s, nearing 50 degrees, as I said, but those showers and storms are certainly going to pop, especially as they push out towards the east. Regardless, high temperatures for today in Denver at 68 degrees under mostly cloudy to overcast skies, and those showers and storms are going to be continuing. And here we go. There's a severe thunderstorm risk outlook. We're even under an enhanced risk for severe weather, but that's for the far southeastern plains, actually pushing into the panhandle of Oklahoma. But for the rest of us, a slight risk for severe weather. We could be seeing another round of hail up to 2 inches in diameter, not for Denver, but for the southeastern plains. I'll time that out for you coming up.
Much for that, Greg. In a matter of days, we get free rides for everyone. The Zero Fare for Better Air Days are returning this summer. The program is allowing free public transit rides starting on Thursday of next week. And this year, state legislators did pass a bill to extend that through the end of August. If you are planning to fly out this weekend and were planning on taking the train to the plane this weekend, you're going to have to take a bus as well. RTD is shutting down the A line before the DIA station to do some maintenance work. They have to de-energize the lines between the Peoria and airport stops. RTD will be running bus shuttles to cover the stations where the train is down this weekend, and they're hoping things are back to normal by Monday. Douglas County School Board members who met in secret to fire former Superintendent Corey Wise broke the law. That is what a Douglas County judge that's the ruling that he made on Friday. The judge ruled that the conservative board majority, board president Mike Peterson, and board members Christy Williams, Becky Myers, and Kaylee Weinger broke meeting laws by having private conversations about Wise before telling him to resign or be fired. Wise refused and forced the conservative majority to fire him in a public meeting last year. The board members could not provide a reason for firing Wise at that meeting. The judge did not issue a permanent injunction in the case, saying he doesn't think the board majority will be holding secret meetings again. Denver Public Schools' approach to school safety is very quickly changing with the return of SROs. But along the way, the school board has been pretty resistant to letting the public in on why they've been making those decisions. DPS finished the school year with armed officers brought back on a temporary basis in a limited capacity after 2 shootings at East High School. But DPS is in court now to try to keep how they went about making that decision a secret. That first hearing just happened. The board had an emergency meeting after the second shooting shooting at East when a student on a safety plan shot 2 deans searching him for weapons. Board members went into executive session meeting behind closed door for about 5 hours, and then they unanimously voted to bring back SROs temporarily without any discussion. 9 News and several other media organizations sued DPS to try and get the recordings of what was said behind closed doors. The district's lawyer told a judge that releasing the tape could be harmful to parents and that the board did its best following the shooting.
The assailant is on the run. You have 2 individuals who are injured, who are employees. I think that you could say, is there a desire to glorify a school shooting? We all know what happened.
Its 5-hour discussion behind closed doors was not an executive session, but an unlawfully closed public meeting, and the recording of that meeting is a public record.
The hearing was the first step in the case where both sides did get to make their first arguments in front of a judge. The judge said he will be ruling on the next steps soon. The specifics do still have to be worked out, but armed police officers are coming back to Denver school campuses in a much more permanent way. This way, board members voted to bring school resource officers back. That was overturning a 2020 decision to remove Denver SROs. Details, though, like how many officers there will be stationed and who pays for it, have not been laid out yet. The school board president says the superintendent will now have to figure all of that out with Denver Police. Denver Police Chief Ron Thomas did send us a statement saying he is pleased with the board's decision and looks forward to working on a plan with the superintendent. A review from the 18th Judicial DA's office says Inglewood police were justified in use of force when they shot and killed a 22-year-old man last summer after the man's brother allegedly shot at them from inside his home. Matthew Mitchell was shot multiple times on June 24th of last year inside a home on South Grove Street. His brother, Philip Blankenship, is accused of shooting at police during that incident. Blankenship's mother called police saying her son was drunk and suicidal and had fired a gun inside the house. When police arrived, they say shots were fired at them, so they returned fire. Blankenship eventually did surrender, and when police got inside the home, they found that Mitchell had died. The DA concluded the officers were reasonably scared for their safety and were justified in their use of force. Colorado senators are behind a new push now to protect women's access to birth control. There are several states that are restricting access right now, and a 1965 U.S. Supreme Court decision recognized the legal right to contraception. So now Colorado Democratic Senators John Hickenlooper and Michael Bennet want to make that a federal law. The Right to Contraception Act did not gain traction when initially introduced last summer, so the senators, along with other Senate colleagues, are reintroducing it. Vice President Kamala Harris's visit to Denver this week was focused on climate change. She was at Northfield High School about the White House's efforts on the climate crisis and also praised students in climate clubs across Denver.
Young leaders know we do not have time to waste. You young leaders have known it your entire lives. Every day brings another reminder, from wildfire smoke to extreme heat to floods.
Harris also talked about gun violence and encouraged students to keep guiding and pushing for change. A public process started this week to reshape the way the water in the Colorado River is distributed by 2027. The current guidelines are expiring in 2026. The Department of Interior is promising a transparent public process with virtual meetings that'll start next month. The Colorado River provides water and power to more than 40 million people across 7 states in the U.S. Officials say a new agreement is critical, especially because the basin is currently experiencing a historic drought. Coming up on the other side of the break, Denver has a new queer cultural district, and while it's not quite ready, you can still see the city's pride.